Today on Studio One, high gas prices are impacting nearly everyone. We'll tell you how both businesses and commuters are trying to cope. Also, this country-style wedding has cowboy hats, a ranch in the background, and of course, Western-style entertainment. We'll tell you how these entertainers have a special link to the wedding party. And there are few things more stable than a tree. We'll spend a day in the life of someone who can give a tree a new home.
From the University of North Dakota in Grand Forks, this is Studio One.
Hi everyone and welcome to Studio One. I'm Monty Cashel.
And I'm Shannon Brewer.
Well, it has been 10 years since one of the most famous court cases concluded, the O.J. Simpson trial.
Absolutely, and yet people still remember the trial vividly.
Yes, a lot of people still remember where they were that moment that the trial ended. We have a special guest on today's show. The sister of Nicole Brown Simpson, Tanya, is here to talk about domestic violence.
Should be a good show.
Also later in the show, many people are making changes because of the price increase of gas. We'll tell you how some businesses are dealing with having to pay more at the pump.
Also, new moms are asked to make decisions on a daily basis. One coalition is taking the initiative to help make one of those decisions easier.
Before we get to all of that, here's today's news with Mariah Torning.
Thank you, Monty and Shannon. Iraqis are preparing to vote on their country's constitution. If the October 15th referendum fails to pass, the process will have to start over from the beginning. Nearly 85% of citizens are currently registered to vote, a significant increase from the last election. In order to ensure everyone who wishes to vote is able to, additional ballots have been printed in the case of a terrorist attack. On Thursday, hospitalized people and prisoners awaiting trial were given the chance to vote early. The Constitution is pushing to move the country towards stability. The cleanup continues in Pakistan following the October 10th earthquake. 23,000 people were killed during the quake, including many children who died in schools that collapsed. Pakistan's president says nearly 2.5 million people were left homeless. Government leaders are concerned because of unsafe water, a limited food supply, and lack of electricity in many areas. With the recent flooding in the Gulf Coast, car shoppers have one more thing to keep in mind before buying their next vehicle. According to the Automobile Dealers Association, about 50 dealerships in and around Louisiana were underwater following the hurricanes. They say this has created nearly 600,000 flood cars that could hit the market in the coming months. These cars can often have faulty electrical systems and problems with safety devices such as airbags. Dealers say it's easy to tell when a vehicle has been flooded.
One of the things you're going to want to look for is not only the smell of the car, but also you can check underneath the seats, see if there's any corrosion on the wires.
Buyers can find out the history of a vehicle through their state's motor vehicle division or go online and buy a vehicle history report. Scientists have found hundreds of new species in a place once thought to be barren of all marine life. Melting ice in the Arctic is helping scientists to discover new varieties of jellyfish, octopus, and squid. Scientists say global warming has caused the warmest summer on record in the Arctic Circle. Some scientific research suggests that all the polar ice could be gone by the end of the century, destroying the sea life underneath it. Now science teams from 4 countries are racing to learn as much as they can about these new species before their habitat disappears. The impact of high gas prices is going a lot further than just taking a bigger bite out of people's checkbooks as they fill their tanks. The rising cost of fuel is also forcing many businesses to increase the cost of their goods and services. As prices continue to rise at the pump, many people are trading in their gas guzzlers for more fuel-efficient cars. But for some, SUVs are a requirement for their job.
Once it hit the 280, 290 mark is when we really felt the impact. When I went from about $50, $60 to fill the tank to anywhere from 85 to 90.
To keep their business going, Elegant Limousine of Grand Forks, North Dakota implemented a fuel surcharge.
We're adjusting them week by week to where the fuel is. Once that goes down, we'll lower our surcharges as well.
The concept of carpooling is benefiting this company.
It's almost cheaper for people to rent a limo to go to casinos and other events rather than drive themselves individually.
But expensive gas is having a negative impact on some other businesses. Sandy Nelson owns a flower shop in Grand Forks, North Dakota. She's found that bumping the prices up has become part of the job.
Our delivery charges for us to get things shipped in went from $12 pre-gas prices to now we're paying $26 every time we get a shipment in.
Sandy has done away with all but one free delivery to the hospital. She also had to raise her delivery prices for the first time in 5 years to make up for the lost profits. Sandy says she's dreaming up some other ways to battle the high prices.
Well, we can do a floral arrangement with a gas card included. I'm willing to do that.
Nathan and Sandy agree that if fuel falls back to $2 a gallon, their prices will also come down. But in the meantime, they're using a little creativity to survive the high cost of fuel. Later on in the show, we will see how some commuters are dealing with the rising gas prices. And that's the news for now. Monty and Shannon?
Thanks a lot, Mariah. Well, it's that time of year, fall time, when you never know what you're going to find outside for weather. Sometimes it's nice.
It's changing day to day. Just depends on what you wake up to in the morning, and even from morning to afternoon, it can mix itself up.
Yeah.
But let's go over to Matt Benz and see what we're supposed to be at for this time of year.
Well, thanks, Monty and Shannon. Yeah, we can never really expect what you can expect to see in fall. You wake up one morning, it's going to be snow on the ground, but the next day, you're going to see some pretty nice weather and may even wear some shorts. Let's take a look across much of the average temperatures across much of the country. Most of the southern U.S. can expect your average temperatures to be around the 80-degree mark, while New York City around 66 degrees for your average high and 61 degrees for your average high in Seattle. And across much of the region of the upper Midwest, Minneapolis, you can expect around 60 degrees for your average high, with Winnipeg, Manitoba coming in around 12 degrees Celsius. Well, we had Hurricane Vincent in the forecast past couple days, and this was a unique storm because it formed off the northwestern parts of Africa, and it worked its way in and it hit the Iberian Peninsula of Spain and Portugal. Now, it didn't hit as a tropical storm or hurricane, but just as a tropical remnant, and that ended up being the first storm ever to really hit the Spanish coast and that area. And this is a unique storm because it was the first hurricane to form in the eastern Atlantic, and this is unique because hurricanes usually like to form over very warm water. And off the coast of northwest Africa, the water is relatively cool, so it was really kind of a strange situation that we had a hurricane form. And it was also unique in that it remained a hurricane for a long period of time, and it was able to reach as a tropical system to the Spanish mainland, and it was the first ever tropical system to hit Spain. But across much of our area, the current jet stream it's across much of the northern parts of the U.S. with a slight dip off towards the east coast. And where we see this dip, we can expect a little bit cooler conditions off in that area. But as we step ahead and look at the future, we're actually going to see a split jet stream with the branch coming down to the south and off to the north. And this creates really a no man's land in the middle for weather. And it really creates pretty boring weather, pretty mild conditions. But where they meet up, we're going to see some warmer conditions, and that trough is going to persist off to the east coast. And we are going to see some cold temperatures across southern Canada and as well as the New England area as well. Here's a look at your weather IQ question. How many homes are located in flood-prone areas? You have a few choices there. And coming up later in the show, we will have a story about flooding as well as a story about how you can prevent it.
Thanks, Matt. Well, regardless of which number it ends up being, that's a lot of homes affected.
Yeah, millions.
Millions on all the answers.
Or at least that's the options Matt gives us.
We'll have to find out.
That's right. Well, I know millions are watching baseball right now because playoffs are going on. Let's go to Nathan Shane for the update.
Thank you, Monty and Shannon. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim entered Game 2 of the American League Championship Series after playing 4 different games in 3 different time zones. After stealing Game 1 against the Chicago White Sox on the road, the Angels were poised to take the series back to Anaheim with the series lead. And this game would be full of drama after the White Sox took the early lead. Rob Quinlan hits the solo shot to tie the game at 1, but the controversy came in the bottom of the 9th with 2 outs. A.J. Perinsky strikes out, or would he? As the Angels trot off the field, Perinsky heads to first thinking the ball hit the dirt. The replay appears to show catcher Josh Paul catching the ball cleanly. Still, the heady play by Perinsky allows the inning to continue, opening the door to this. Joe Creedy hits the ball off the left field wall. White Sox win 2-1, tying the series at 1 apiece. On to the National League, where the St. Louis Cardinals face off against the Houston Astros. In the bottom of the first, Reggie Sanders hits the big 2-run homer. The next inning, the Cardinals will play some small ball this time. Chris Carpenter gets a suicide squeeze play to score Mark Grudzielanek. Still more Cardinals. Now the bottom of the 5th, up 4-0. NL MVP candidate Albert Pujols singles to right, scoring David Eckstein. The Cardinals prevail 5-2, taking the important first game. Referees are an essential part of any sport. They keep the game honest and make sure that neither team has an unfair advantage. Referee training is available in many leagues to provide the skills they need. This recreational hockey league at the University of North Dakota holds a training workshop for their officials each year. The potential officials are tested on general knowledge of the game and are put through drills at game speed. Trainers say they have experienced bad officiating in the past, and they know that a blown call can be more than a small mistake.
It could make a game go either way. One call can make another team win. So it's really important, especially for those D1 games and those really fast-paced games, to have officials that know what they're doing.
In this workshop, not everyone who trained was accepted. Only the all-around best were asked to be referees. It's now time for the Studio One Sports Trivia question, and sticking with baseball, today's question is which team has been in every National League Division Series between the years 1995 and 2004? And we'll have the answer to that question plus more sports later on in the show. Monty and Shannon.
Thanks a lot, Nathan. A new movie depicts a true story of a young girl who goes from a wealthy family to being a notorious bounty hunter. We'll preview the film Domino.
Also, work, school, and breastfeeding are three things that rarely go together. Next, we'll learn how activists are working to bring these things together.
Need to plan an entire conference? Want to provide your employees with professional training and development? The Division of Continuing Education at the University of North Dakota provides quality programs and services for career enhancement. Whether you want to attend educator workshops or need a certificate for your profession, the Division of Continuing Education can help you achieve success. Contact the Division of Continuing Education today and let us meet your professional needs.
George Bull and his partners found value in farina, the whitest part of wheat, and created cream of wheat. Patrick Haggerty founded Texas Instruments and helped it become one of the nation's high-tech giants. Raymond Rood is responsible for the modern diving board. His diving boards have been used in every Olympic competition since 1960. Chris Moen and Marlene Schott launched their food company through the UND Entrepreneurship Program. Will yours be next?
The University of North Dakota Alumni Association and Foundation, together with thousands of alumni and friends, are making a difference at UND. Thanks to generous private support, many students have experienced the rich history, tradition, and spirit of the University of North Dakota. UND alumni and friends understand the importance of education and are proud to be part of UND's growth and success. Learn how your gift to the UND Foundation can benefit you and your university. You can make a difference.
Advance your career with a graduate business degree from the University of North Dakota. The graduate school at UND offers a variety of master's degrees that can help you stand out in the competitive business world. Our programs accommodate full-time students as well as working professionals. Our state-of-the-art facilities, dedicated faculty, and entrepreneurial training position graduates for careers as business leaders. Make your move towards a business leadership position. Contact the UND Graduate School today.
Tradition runs deep among American Indian people. One of those traditions is helping others. At the University of North Dakota, American Indian Student Services is dedicated to helping students succeed. Our support services include tutoring and financial aid assistance. We have more American Indian programs than any other university in the U.S., making UND a leader in Indian education. Be a part of our tradition. Call 1-800-CALL-UND.
You're watching Studio One, news, weather, sports, and entertainment.
Studies show that breastfeeding can decrease an infant's chance of illnesses such as ear infections and allergies. But in today's fast-paced world, the decision to breastfeed is not always easy. A representative of a community breastfeeding coalition, Brenda Bergman, joins us. She'll tell us what some community members are doing to encourage breastfeeding. Thanks for joining us today, Brenda.
Yep, thank you, Shannon.
Now, you're a member of a breastfeeding coalition. What is the Community Breastfeeding Coalition?
The coalition is a congregate of a variety of different people. Like, we have some healthcare professionals, we have some currently pregnant, currently breastfeeding moms, we have some UND students that are interested in breastfeeding, and we have people that are, just have a lot to contribute to breastfeeding. And then we, as lactation consultants, are active members too.
So there's a lot of people that are involved?
Diversity of people.
Excellent. Well, what is the mission of the Breastfeeding Coalition?
We just want to promote breastfeeding throughout our our community and let people know how important breastfeeding really is. And then also provide support for moms that are breastfeeding and for infants, you know, and how it is. We want to make it more and more common in public places.
Mm-hmm. Now you mentioned that breastfeeding is important. What are some of the benefits of breastfeeding? Why is it important?
Breastfeeding, there are so many benefits. Like the number one thing that pops into my head is the bond that is made between the mom and the child. Mom goes through enormous hormonal changes through her pregnancy, for 9 months of hormonal changes. And if she doesn't breastfeed, it stops, and therefore it can increase chances for her to go into things like postpartum depression. The breast milk itself helps baby to improve its immune system and decrease chances for ear infections, for asthma, any kind of health-related issues, decrease the chances for type 2 diabetes down the road, and most importantly, that close bond that has between the infant and the breastfeeding mother.
Sounds like there's a lot of things that actually tie into the breastfeeding.
There are so many that we kind of overlook.
Mm-hmm. What concerns do new moms have, or do moms come to you with about breastfeeding?
It's not late-breaking news. People realize that their breast milk is far better than formula is. But the problem is that they're either have to go back to work, and they're questioning whether or not they're going to be able to continue to breastfeed when they go back to work or school or both. And then they also kind of question their ability to make enough milk. And that's one way that we can try to support them, to let them realize that they're absolutely capable of providing enough milk for that infant.
Mm-hmm. Are these concerns or hesitations something that are increasing among younger generations than before?
It seems to be increasing because there's more young generations that are ambitious and they want to get right back to work. For example, I work in a clinic setting with newborn infants and moms who are going to college, and they want to get right back into that college type setting. And there's a lot of pressure on them to get back to work, but yet there's also pressure for them to breast milk, to breastfeed for the infants, because they know what a benefit it is for the infants. Mm-hmm. We want to let the breastfeeding moms know that there are things that they can do. For example, they can either bring their babies with them to work, or to talk to their employers and giving them a chance to pump the breast milk, or also realize that they can talk to their professors as their pregnancy progresses, to talk to them about giving them time to pump the milk there too.
Absolutely. Now, one of the things that we talked about before the show was the fact that the Midwest seems to be an area where there's a stronger reaction to breastfeeding. Is that something that you see in your work?
It seems to be, and that's what we at the Breastfeeding Coalition try to do, is make the community more aware that it's a normalcy. That's what we have breasts for. We really have breasts to provide the milk for the infant, and then we want to make it more, breastfeeding moms a little more at ease with breastfeeding in public settings. Mm-hmm.
Have you seen community support around the coalition and the mission of the coalition?
Definitely. The mission of a coalition is definitely to increase the statistics of breastfeeding. Community support, yes, definitely. When people see things that we have provided, for example, for World Breastfeeding Week, which is the first week in August, we've supplied a lot of, the Breastfeeding Coalition has supplied a lot of things for local agencies, and they've shown a lot of appreciation for those things. Mm-hmm.
Are there similar organizations throughout the country, or is this just a topic within the Midwest?
Oh no, it definitely extends throughout the United States. The biggest concern that we have is making sure that breastfeeding moms know who to turn to if they have concerns. There are many moms that naturally doubt themselves. They doubt their ability to make enough milk for the babies, and the number one person they'll turn to is their physician. And one area of concern that we have as lactation consultants is that studies show that physicians do not have enough education in the area of lactation to always provide accurate answers. Mm-hmm. So to let them know that there's a different resource for them to get accurate information.
Absolutely. Now, is the coalition something that we're going to see continue to do their work throughout the area, or is this something that's temporary? What's going to happen from here?
We want it to continue as long as possible, and it seems to be working very, very well. We have goals set and one big goal is to kind of make a good connection with other healthcare professionals, and for them to realize how important breastfeeding is.
Well, excellent. Mm-hmm. Sounds like there's a lot of information out there on a topic that might not get as much attention as we would think or that it deserves. And so thank you very much for coming on the show.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Coming up, it's been more than 11 years since the death of Nicole Brown Simpson. Nicole's younger sister, Tanya, will be on the show to talk about red flags of relationship violence. Also, when some people move, they bring their homes with them. But what about the landscaping? We'll spend a day in the life of someone who removes and transplants trees.
Earn a degree in engineering while you continue to work. The University of North Dakota's Distance Engineering degree program offers the only ABET accredited undergraduate degree program at a distance. Instructors and classes are delivered to you through online lectures and condensed on-campus laboratories.
It's convenient, it's flexible, and it's a quality education.
UND Continuing Education and the School of Engineering and Mines, teaming up to bring quality education to your door.
Wall Street has come to the prairie through the A. Kirk Lanterman Investment Center at the University of North Dakota. This state-of-the-art facility in the College of Business and Public Administration provides hands-on experience in the world of modern finance. Students learn how financial markets react with lightning quickness to world events. They use cutting-edge technology and real-time data from more than 200 financial markets around the world. The Lanterman Investment Center provides the tools to make a career out of an education.
There are many things to be found at the University of North Dakota School of Law. You will find a place with small class settings, an affordable place that offers student interaction with both the state and federal court systems. You will find a school that has averaged over 90% placement for its graduates the past 5 years. But most importantly, you will find the skills and experience you'll need throughout your legal career. Find your future at the University of North Dakota School of Law.
Explore the educational opportunities available through the Division of Continuing Education at the University of North Dakota. With just one phone call or a click of the mouse, you'll find high-quality programs designed for today's adults. We have a large selection of continuing education courses that are available at a time and place that's convenient for you. Discover a world of learning through the Division of Continuing Education at the University of North Dakota.
Bounty hunting is a dangerous profession. New Line Cinema tries to capture the job's mystique in the film Domino. The movie loosely portrays the real-life bounty hunter Domino Harvey. She is the daughter of a respected actor and a famous model. In the film, Domino rejects her well-to-do lifestyle and instead turns to the excitement of bounty hunting. Keira Knightley portrays Domino and says while filming, she got to experience new things.
It's been quite interesting, this whole movie for me. I think I've done lots of things that I've never done before. The first is firing the guns. Electric bull riding, never thought I would do. Actually really enjoyed, slightly scary, but really enjoyed it.
Sadly, the real Domino passed away just 3.5 months before the October 14th opening of the film. Now it's time to take a look at the events happening in your area. Add together the combination of a couple of spades and some hydraulics, and your ordinary tree could be mobile. Today we'll spend the day in the life of a tree mover.
People love their lawns. Green grass and manicured hedges are little touches that can make a big difference. Some people want more than a little extra. They're looking for an addition in the 20-foot tall category.
I mean, they really like to see beautiful trees planted in their yards, and it's real rewarding. They get smiles on their faces, and they'll have their own cameras out, and they'll have their kids out watching the trees being planted.
Jerry Linder's job is to move something that is rarely intended to be moved. Jerry is a professional tree mover. The first thing that Jerry does is pick up the tree from the tree farm. That's when the work begins for Jerry and his machine known as Big John. Once the tree has been uprooted, it can be planted in its new home. The job may sound easy enough, but there are obstacles.
The hardest part would be weather-related conditions. When you get snow, mud, wet conditions, hard to get around.
Once the tree has been planted, the responsibility goes to the homeowner. Jerry says watering is important to the survival of the tree, but he also warns not to overwater.
You can put mulch on, like during the hot summertime, to keep the moisture in that, what we call a root ball, or that plug. And any and all fertilizers, anything that it might need for nourishment.
So with Jerry's help, you could have an addition to your lawn that has the birds, squirrels, and even the neighbors talking. I'm Lance Vogel reporting for Studio One.
Sometimes trees do not survive in their new habitat. It is usually due to disease or overwatering after they're planted. Coming up, musical entertainment is standard fare for a Western-style wedding. We'll attend a family wedding where the music and wedding party are one and the same. That's Story Plus news, sports, and weather in the next half hour of Studio One.
The School of Engineering and Mines at UND has a long history of preparing students for successful careers. Through small classes and faculty involvement, students have unique opportunities to gain hands-on experience. Here, students launch a weather balloon to test a remote imaging device destined for Earth orbit. Students can also become involved in wind energy and fuel cell projects, design, build, and race a Formula One car, or even develop a camera that will generate agricultural images from the International Space Station. Find out for yourself how you can get involved at UND School of Engineering and Mines.
Do you need a flexible way to earn your degree? The University of North Dakota's Degrees After Hours program is designed to work around your full-time schedule. Whether you've got a family, a full-time job, or both, the Degrees After Hours program offers you flexible alternatives. You can earn a degree or take courses online through video conferencing and in the evenings or on weekends. UND's Degrees After Hours program fits your needs, your schedule, and your goals. Contact UND today.
This can happen.
Excuse me, can I get a ride?
What?
My car broke down. Can I get a ride?
No, I can't help you.
Look, it's just a ride.
No, step back.
Get in the car!
No!
Women can defend themselves. To learn more about Impact U or to enroll in a class, call the UND Women's Center.
From the University of North Dakota in Grand Forks, this is Studio One.
Welcome back to Studio One.
Thanks for joining us today.
Well, I don't know too much about hockey, but I know that a lot of people are excited to have professional hockey back in play.
The fans finally get the NHL, the National Hockey League, going again so they can watch hockey after a year being on strike.
There's a lot going on in that field. And in addition to that, there's also a twin sister couple that are playing on the same team together and making quite a success of it. And we'll hear about them a little bit later in the show.
They play college hockey. That's coming up. And also in the next 30 minutes on Studio One, the daily commute to work can often be a hassle, but for those who spend hours in their car each day, it has also become very expensive. We'll talk to some commuters about how they're handling the high gas prices.
Also, it can be difficult breaking into the professional music circuit. We'll talk with a young band that has family ties.
And statistics from the National Domestic Violence Hotline show nearly 40% of female hospital patients are injured by intimate partner violence. Tanya Brown, younger sister of Nicole Brown Simpson, will speak about domestic violence later in the show. But first, here's today's news with Mariah Torney.
Thank you, Monty and Shannon. The European Commission confirmed on Thursday that the Asian bird flu is present in the country of Turkey. The flu is also thought to have spread to Romania. This would mark the first case of the bird flu crossing into Europe. The appearance of the flu in Romania would prove the theory that it is carried by migrating birds. All trucks entering Hungary from the Romanian border are now being disinfected to stop the spread of the flu. Any trucks holding poultry that originated in Romania will not be allowed past the border. Health officials worry about the possibility of the bird flu combining with a human strain of influenza. It is thought that such a hybrid would spread easily and kill more than 50% of its victims. Another violent police beating has been captured on tape, this time in Canada. A news helicopter caught two officers in Montreal roughly shoving a woman against their patrol car and dragging her across its hood. The woman and a man were arrested Wednesday after a chase following a convenience store robbery. The officers are currently under investigation. Many students start off college thinking they will graduate in 4 years, but many are taking longer. The National Center for Education estimates that more than 16% of students take 5 years or more to get their degree. Rising tuition costs have forced most students to work outside of school. Surveys show that 83% of students have jobs during the school year to avoid a larger debt. The added workload can make for a lighter class schedule and additional years to graduate, but some say tougher classes are also a factor.
Most of the curriculum that are offered are very difficult to complete in 4 years and indeed take longer.
However, Hoffert says that an extra year of college can be beneficial. She says this gives students the opportunity to fully explore their interests and reach their potential. With gas prices now reaching an all-time high, many people are finding ways to travel without burning fuel. In the past year, more bicycles and cars have been sold in the U.S. A national coalition of bicycle suppliers and retailers says close to 20 million bikes will be sold this year, nearing the record set during the 1973 oil crisis. Over the last year, the average price of gas in the U.S. has risen by nearly 50%. AAA says that has urged nearly 90 million people to hop on a bike rather than get behind the wheel. With gas prices continuing to dent consumers' pocketbooks, it's hard to find someone who's not affected. But those who are hit the hardest are the ones who spend the most time on the road.
From road-tripping college students to weary traveling hunters, almost everyone has something to say about the recent hike in gas prices.
Yeah, it's high, but you know, this vehicle only gets 50 miles per gallon, so that smarts a bunch.
But those who are most affected are people who travel long distances. The University of North Dakota in Grand Forks has several employees who drive many miles to and from work every day.
You're getting to the price now where renting an apartment for a couple nights a week becomes very feasible.
Dave Horn, a systems analyst, drives up to Grand Forks from Fargo, a 70-mile trip each way. He says there is one way commuters can save money at the pump.
I've always been driving vehicles that have had high mileage.
Hannah Hamad works as a lab technician in Grand Forks and also drives to work from Fargo. Her commute costs her up to $100 a week in gas. She's hoping to start a van pool program for university employees who make the same trip to work each day.
And it's like, wow, this makes sense. It's like instead of 5, 7, or 9 people driving individual vehicles, we're just driving one vehicle.
The government-sponsored program would help pay for the cost of gas. While Hannah does want to save money on her commute, she also believes that fewer vehicles on the road would be an important step in conserving resources for our future.
We have shortage of gas in the whole country, and if we as individuals, we don't help, then we're in a big trouble.
If prices remain high, more commuters like Hannah may decide to conserve more gas and spend less money. Reporting for Studio One News, I'm Danielle Webster.
According to AAA, other ways people are saving money on gas is by purchasing hybrid cars and canceling family trips. And that's the news for now. Monty and Shannon?
Thanks, Mariah. Well, certainly more people are getting out on their bicycles and walking out.
Seeing a lot of rollerblades out there as kind of a result of these high gas prices and turning to alternatives. It'll be interesting to see what happens as the weather gets a little bit chillier out there. And speaking of weather, I think it's time to go over to Matt Benz and find out a little bit more about the weather.
Well, thanks, Monty and Shannon. Yeah, unfortunately, we're using our bicycles and running shoes right now to get to work, but as the weather gets colder, I think we're going to be exchanging those for a little bit warmer car to get to work and to different places across our area. Well, as we take a look at our video, we have some flooding actually out in New Hampshire right now, and heavy rains across much of the Northeast has caused some pretty bad devastation. This place here lost a house to a river that rose, and that's because 11 inches of rain fell across this area and caused the river to rise suddenly, washing away most of this family's house and as well as their fortune. And unfortunately, it's really caused a lot of damage, and as well as some deaths. It's actually put some roads underneath water, and it's the worst flooding the New England area has seen in the past quarter century. And here, this affected area where they saw a lot of rain was down from Virginia up the eastern seaboard up through Maine. And the hardest hit area was eastern New York, Vermont, and New Hampshire, where they did see upwards of 11 inches of rain. And unfortunately, they're going to be seeing a little bit more rain contributing to all this flooding. And as we see more flooding, unfortunately, we'll see more property damage. While flooding can occur at any time and anywhere, this leads state and federal officials to take measures to help prevent flooding. One plan being tested may closely resemble what you had for breakfast.
This may look like your typical field, crops standing tall, combines weaving in and out during harvest. However, this field can take on a whole new look when floods threaten.
One of the things we did was to go out and actually store water on parcels of land, which we call Waffle field trials, to determine what the impacts are.
A waffle field is based on the concept that the field looks like a waffle from above. Using the waffle technique will allow runoff to be stored and released in moderation to help prevent flooding.
During the springs that we had the field trials, we didn't see any significant impact to crop yields, but that could change. And in some years, if it were a dry year, that added soil moisture could actually be a benefit.
Bowles added that farmers volunteered to have the waffle trials placed in their fields. The farmers were compensated $20 to $25 per acre. The potential for flooding is always present. If the waffle plan does work, the worst floods may not be as devastating. I'm John Nowaski reporting for Studio One.
Trial waffle fields set up in North Dakota near the Red River has proven to be successful against flooding. Well, here's a recap of your weather IQ question. How many homes are located in flood-prone areas? And your answer is 10 million. And Monty and Shannon, this actually goes to show you that this puts $390 billion worth of property at risk in floodplains across much of the United States.
Thanks, Matt. It's a lot of homes and a lot of money.
Wow.
Absolutely.
I know.
Water's a powerful force.
It is, and you saw in that video it can take whole houses away, and we saw also with Katrina, the hurricane, how badly the water damaged everything there.
Comes from all different directions.
Let's go now to sports again with Nathan Shane.
Thank you, Monty and Shannon. Coaches everywhere hope their team will play well together and develop a special bond. One team has two players that bring this combination to the team naturally.
This is where it all begins. Practices are the starting point for every team to develop a camaraderie that will hopefully carry over into games. Kara and Cami are two players on the University of North Dakota women's hockey team that share a unique connection to help fuel the team's bond.
Basically, because we've played together so long, we kind of know where in the corner, you know, they're going to be up high, or it's not really thinking, it's just kind of knowing, familiarity, I guess.
Their special ability to know so much about the other didn't start on the ice, however. It began in their own household as twin sisters, and they've known hockey is their sport for a long time.
Ever since we were little, because that's all we ever did, like, in our hometown.
Their relationship off the ice has helped them develop into key players during games. Kara and Cami were the 1-2 scoring punch for UND last year, with nearly half the team's goals as freshmen. The Wooser sisters now hope a year under their belt will help them push each other to the next level this season.
We push each other just on the ice. We don't really talk about it. It's just we're on the same line, so we're going to work hard to, I don't know, do as best as we can together. So. Yeah, we want to have success, so whatever it takes.
As coaches everywhere try to bring that family atmosphere to their teams, UND knows it doesn't have to look too far to see where its unique bond comes from.
Kara and Cami Wooster were recently awarded for their accomplishments. Each was named to the WCHA All-Star team that will play against the U.S. national team in December. And now the answer to this week's Studio One Sports Trivia question. The question once again is, which team has been to every National League Division Series between the years of 1995 and 2004? And the answer is the Atlanta Braves, who also made it to the Division Series this past year, making it a full decade for that team to be in the series. And that's the sports. Monty and Shannon.
Thanks, Nathan. From returning alumni to new visitors, one Grand Forks restaurant has been a mainstay for more than 30 years. We'll see how this eatery has kept the customers coming back for more.
Also, it takes ambition and talent to become a country music star. We'll visit with three sisters who are trying to help each other reach a dream.
When you graduate from college, what will you be able to offer an employer?
Well, I'm a really good people person.
I really love working with people.
I'm very, very motivated.
I'm a great people person. I am really motivated.
Offer an employer something more. At the University of North Dakota Career Services Center, we can help you get the competitive edge you need. Stop in or check us out UND Career Services, empowering students to realize their dreams.
Did I mention I'm great with people?
The University of North Dakota College of Business and Public Administration offers real degrees for real people. Our nationally recognized faculty can help you earn a master's degree in business through evening classes.
Taking these evening classes were very convenient for me, and that's how I was able to complete the program.
We offer degrees for people who work, raise families, and lead busy lives. The UND College of Business and Public Administration, real degrees for real people.
The School of Engineering and Mines at UND offers students exceptional learning opportunities. Undergraduates are helping faculty design and build unmanned aerial vehicles to test remote imaging devices. They're also converting wind energy into hydrogen. Geological science students are contributing to environmental research. Extracurricular activities include designing, building, and racing a fuel cell car. Make the most of your college experience at UND's School of Engineering and Mines.
Let the University of North Dakota become your partner by providing your business with services to enhance your workforce. The UND Office of Workforce Development has extensive experience conducting employee satisfaction research, strategic planning, focus groups, and grant development. Call us for further information. Workforce Development, a service of the Division of Continuing Education at the University of North Dakota.
You're watching Studio One, twice named the best college television show in the nation by the National Association of College Broadcasters.
There are many types of restaurants. From Chinese to Italian, there is a bite for everyone. One restaurant has continued to keep flavor through decades for many types of people.
200 pounds of ground beef, 30 dozen grinder buns, and more than 80 pounds of shredded cheese gone. This equals an average day at the Red Pepper in Grand Forks, North Dakota. This laid-back Mexican-style restaurant caters to everyone.
Any given day at lunch, you'll have a construction worker standing next to a doctor, standing next to a high school kid.
Tacos, burritos, and grinders are a few of the items on the menu for any time of day.
On nighttime, I get cheese tostadas. Daytime, ham grinders.
The Red Pepper has a special white sauce that even has its own myth.
People like the stories, like having the stories. Like I heard something like the black stuff in the white sauce is ash, which is ridiculous.
Regardless of the stories, people always come back, even if it means enduring a long wait.
We ended up having 2 people here and a line coming all the way around from the door back to the bathroom for like 2 hours.
In fact, people crave the food so much, the Red Pepper ships grinder kits across the nation overnight.
People who maybe graduated from UND and moved on can kind of get a taste of go back to their college years.
The restaurant's tradition is built on things like a no forks allowed rule and walls that speak of past customers.
We've stayed the same as we always have. We don't change a lot, and I think that's one thing that people appreciate about us.
The Red Pepper logo and familiar building will continue to have a welcome door for college rookies, out-of-towners, and regulars. I am Jenna Lund reporting for Studio One.
The Tillman family has owned the Red Pepper for more than 30 years. They also have a Red Pepper food vendor at many local events. Gas prices have risen to record levels. This is causing many people to change the way they go about their everyday life. More people are biking and carpooling to work, and long road trips are being canceled. We wanted your thoughts on how gas prices are affecting you.
After 40-some years of driving, I'm probably just going to say that's enough. Can't afford it at this prices. Not enough profit to be made.
They really haven't. If I have someplace I need to go, I just go.
If gas keeps rising, I'll be riding my bike even during the winter.
It's affected us in a way that we probably won't be able to drive anymore. Maybe have to ride a horse or something.
You got to make cuts where they're needed, and I need to drive.
You don't want to take long trips. You bike more often. You walk more often. It's just, it's kind of a hassle.
We see less business in the shops here in town because people are afraid to spend money on their vehicles because of what they're spending on gas today.
Gas prices right now don't really affect me because I just charge it to my parents and they pay for it.
Family traits may include curly hair, a distinct eye color, or similar heights, while some families share nothing at all. One family has 3 sisters with a similar trait that they like to share with others.
This is a familiar Midwestern scene. Horses in the pen, barn in the background, and haystacks ready to be eaten. But today there's a little more excitement in store at the Hewitt Ranch. One of the 13 kids is getting married.
Sean, if you would take Sheila's ring.
After many weddings like this one, people can expect food and entertainment. But the music is not just a hired DJ or band, but talent that's closer to home.
They're pretty much all paid for, except for this wedding for our sister. We're doing that just to be nice.
This band is called the Hewitt Sisters, 3 of them to be exact. Today they get to perform at their sister's wedding.
We play every weekend. Like this summer we played weekdays too, since there were more fairs.
They travel so often, one may wonder how schoolwork gets finished.
I homeschool, so like when I'm traveling all the time, I can just do it on the road.
Catrice and Ashley Hewitt began singing as a group for 2 years before our sister Lacey showed an interest in keeping a beat for the band.
It's still kind of new to me, and I'm still learning a lot.
The Hewitt sisters have opened shows for country stars like Lori Morgan and Josh Grayson. They have also recorded 2 CDs in Nashville.
We went to the Grand Ole Opry just for fun and just, Broadway. And we sang at Tootsie's Orchid Lounge last time we were there.
The road has given the sisters many stories to share.
Drumsticks flying, or else one time I hit myself in the head, but I don't think anybody noticed.
Lacey, Catrice, and Ashley each have dreams for the future.
I hope we get a record deal, but whatever happens, happens.
I hope that I just get to be a better musician. I guess that's every musician's goal.
Song by song, the Hewitt sisters have reached closer to their goals.
I think we'd all like to just get better places. Like this year we went to We Fest, and that was a dream of ours. That was a dream of ours because it's such a big festival.
Whether these sisters are on the ranch or on the road, family is always close.
We're always together and we're always having fun. So it's all good memories.
With photographer Patrick Wynn, this is Jenna Lund reporting for Studio One.
The Hewitt girls play a variety of instruments, including the fiddle, bass, and mandolin. Besides covering country greats like Merle Haggard, the Hewitt sisters also perform songs they have written. Coming up, we'll discuss a serious problem in the U.S. The Center for Disease Control states that in 1 year, over 5 million incidents of intimate partner violence occur against women. Tanya Brown travels the country speaking about the domestic violence her sister, Nicole Brown Simpson, suffered for 17 years. We'll talk to her next.
The College of Business and Public Administration at the University of North Dakota is proud to announce the Page Family Marketing Center. A gift from alumni Greg and Cindy Page, this center promises real-world experiences as students begin careers in marketing. The center includes a specially designed conference room for focus group research. An adjacent lab offers real-time access to software and data for marketing decisions. The Page Family Marketing Center, your next step in marketing.
Tradition runs deep among American Indian people. One of those traditions is helping others. At the University of North Dakota, American Indian Student Services is dedicated to helping students succeed. Our support services include tutoring and financial aid assistance. We have more American Indian programs than any other university in the U.S., making UND a leader in Indian education. Be a part of our tradition. Call 1-800-CALL-UND.
Earn a degree in engineering while you continue to work. The University of North Dakota's Distance Engineering degree program offers the only ABET accredited undergraduate degree program at a distance. Instructors and classes are delivered to you through online lectures and condensed on-campus laboratories.
It's convenient, it's flexible, and it's a quality education.
UND Continuing Education and the School of Engineering and Mines. teaming up to bring quality education to your door. No matter what your schedule, no matter when you work, no matter what job you have now, this is your opportunity to accomplish your goals. Degrees After Hours at the University of North Dakota can work around your busy schedule. Bachelor and master's degrees are earned through convenient, flexible, and high-quality classes. Complete degrees are available online through correspondence study and on weekends and evenings. Earn a degree on your terms with Degrees After Hours at the University of North Dakota.
In the United States, 3 women are murdered every day by husbands or partners. October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and many communities are trying to draw attention to this issue. Tanya Brown, sister of the late Nicole Brown Simpson, is here to talk about domestic violence and abuse in relationships. Thanks for coming on the show today,
Thank you for having me.
Well, you tour the nation talking about domestic violence, and you have a personal story that many people are familiar with. Everyone knows your sister Nicole's name and what she went through because of the O.J. Simpson trial.
Right.
How do you deal with the notoriety involved with this?
First and foremost, I'm very private. You look very familiar. Where do I know you from? And I say, well, I have a twin. Unless I know that it's a necessity that I bring up Nicole's name. When I'm dealing with my work of domestic violence, or if I'm at the grocery store and I'm seeing something or I'm hearing something, I will bring up her name. People listen to her. They know her name, and why not announce that and share her life story? She's saving lives. It's amazing.
Sure. And obviously you went through a lot of grief.
Right.
How did you deal with that to where you are now, speaking in public?
You know, it's quite amazing. Last year I had an emotional crisis and I found out that I never grieved over her. I never grieved, and a situation happened, and that was the straw that broke the camel's back. But for the first 3 to 5 years after her murder, I took the side stage. I was not ready to educate people as much as I wanted to, but I was not effective. I had a lot of anger, had a lot of sadness, a lot of hurt and disappointment. So I took 3 to 5 years off, and past 5-6 years, I've just been full force in educating people on this issue.
And you educate a lot of, you go to college campuses quite a bit.
Right.
Why do you focus on the college atmosphere?
I think because I'm a professional student, maybe. I don't know. I feel connected to the college students. I saw a lot when I was a student at UCSD, a lot of sexual assault, rape, a lot of stalking issues. And this can all be prevented. And I just feel really connected to the college students. College life is a life of exploration, perhaps for the first time. There's a lot of alcohol, perhaps, a lot of parties, a lot of first-time events. And you know, you can do all these things, but there's ways to stay safe. There's beginning signs to be aware of.
What are those signs? What are some of those signs?
Constant phone calling, stalking, harassment, anything that you feel that is peculiar and perhaps even a violation of your personal space. However, people don't know what their personal space is because they've never asked themselves, what am I willing to tolerate in a personal and professional relationship? And once that awareness comes up, and that's key, and then a peculiar situation or an uneasy situation comes into that boundary line, then you're aware, you take that awareness and say, you know, this isn't feeling right to me. And I encourage people to listen to that gut instinct.
And, you know, you often hear sometimes people don't even know when they're being abused. For example, did Nicole talk to you about being abused?
No, personally, no. Denise, yes. Denise actually took her out of the house 3 times. But on an average, women who are being victimized leave an average 6 to 8 times before they truly do make that leave. No, Nicole, and that was one of the, I had so much anger against Nicole for so many years because she never did say anything to me.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Perhaps I'm the baby sister, and to me, I was the only one that she said that I'm asking OJ for a divorce tonight. That was in 1992, and to me, I just thought it was a relationship that went bad. Yeah. Now that I look back on the relationship, being as educated as I am now, I see so many things.
So many signs.
So many signs.
And Nicole kept a diary, a journal, and you used some of her excerpts in your presentations.
Right.
One of those excerpts went like this: "He smashed my car with a baseball bat. He greeted me at the gate, but I was too scared to get out of my car. He did it because I was late."
Right.
Wow. Yep. I mean,
batters and controllers will, the minute that they feel that they're losing control of you, they will either control you more or you will be hurt. And Nicole was late, and she didn't abide by his rules.
When you read parts of her journal like that. How is it for you? What was your reaction when you first read things like that?
Well, I first read this last year. We had the journals. For some reason, I didn't reach out and read them up until last year. And I was like astonished. My sister lived like this. Her journals date back from 1978, their very first date.
And you used some of those excerpts in your presentation. You also use a book that your father wrote, Stop Domestic Violence, an Action Plan for Saving Lives. Tell us about this book and how you use it in your presentation.
It's such an easy book. Actually, I encourage profs or professors to even encourage this perhaps on a recommended reading list. It's such an easy read. In it, there's a temperature gauge that is so easy for people to understand. It guides you to an escalation of a violent relationship, starting at 62 degrees to 120 degrees. So basically starting with the criticisms, the jealousy, the harassment, the stalking, and ending up in murder and getting a book written about you.
Well, it's an amazing story and one that continues to be on the nation's mind, obviously.
Good, don't let it die.
No, thanks for stopping and talking with us today, Tanya.
You're welcome, thank you.
You're watching Studio One from the University of North Dakota. We'll be back right after this.
The UND College of Business and Public Administration is reaching out to rural America. The Government Rural Outreach Initiative is working to connect North Dakota veterans with important information. North Dakota veterans can use the internet to access employment and business resources, health and benefits they deserve, housing information, and much more. The Government Rural Outreach Initiative is funded in part by the North Dakota Congressional Delegation. North Dakota veterans and their families can get connected by visiting go.ndgrow.com.
Become a leader in healthcare with a graduate degree from the University of North Dakota. The Graduate School at UND offers degree programs and advanced practice certificate programs in the allied health professions and nursing. Our faculty give you the individual attention you need to help you attain your career goals. Distance programs for practicing professionals allow you to pursue graduate studies without interrupting your career. Contact the UND Graduate School today.
When you graduate from college, what will you be able to offer an employer?
Well, I love working with people.
I'm a people person.
I consider myself to be highly motivated.
I'm a real self-starter.
Offer an employer something more. At the University of North Dakota Career Services Center, we can help you get the competitive edge you need. Stop in or check us out, UND Career Services, empowering students to realize their dreams.
I can offer you much more than just good people skills.
You're hired.
This can happen.
Excuse me, can I get a ride?
What?
My car broke down. Can I get a ride?
No, I can't help you.
Look, it's just a ride.
No, step back.
Get in the car!
No!
Women can defend themselves. To learn more about Impact U or to enroll in a class, call the UND Women's Center.
Thanks for joining us this week. If you are looking for information on domestic violence or need to find help for yourself or a loved one, you can contact the National Hotline.
We're going to leave you now with pictures of the fall colors, courtesy of photographer Eric Fleischhacker. From all of us here at Studio One, have a great week.